as Washington's next major challenge. Speaking to journalists Saturday in Dubai, Lieutenant General Gregory Guillot acknowledged that presence could adjust after the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan in August. The U.S. Air Force operates a major base in nearby Qatar, which oversaw operations in Afghanistan as well as Iraq and Syria. However, the general stressed he didn't see any scenario where the United States does not have an important role. Rhonda Rockstra reporting.
Counterterrorism police in Britain investigating that blast Sunday morning at a hospital in Liverpool. One person was killed, several have been hurt. 3 people have now been arrested. Authorities say they're, quote, keeping an open mind about what caused the blast. Also at townhall.com, continuing a new corporate trend. Japan's Toshiba Corporation says it will split into 3 separate companies by March of 2024.
One will focus exclusively on electronic devices like semiconductors, while the other 2 are set to manage the company's stakes in flash memory and infrastructure. The 3 moves will dismantle Toshiba, a conglomerate formed way back in 1875.
That is correspondent Ken Lorman reporting. The Alliance of Healthcare Unions and Kaiser Permanente have jointly announced an agreement staving off a potentially crippling strike. 32,000 employees, most in Southern California, threatened to walk off the job Monday to protest understaffing and wage cuts. Harris W. Falwell, a 7-term Illinois congressman, dead at 92. He served from 1985 to 1999. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Entertainment Answer brought to you by Exergen. David Allen Greer stars in Clifford the Big Red Dog and is confident families will love it.
It's the idea of a live dog that has the temperament of a puppy. It's a family movie. If you have kids who loved the Clifford books, bring them here. There's so few programs and movies that are really family entertainment.
Clifford the Big Red Dog, rated PG. For more information, head over to theentertainmentanswer.com.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. One thing is certain, whether you're vaccinated or not, you need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at Exergen.com.
This is Janae Nicole inviting you to join me for Sports by the Numbers Mondays at 8 p.m. right here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer for the most entertaining look at the numbers behind the sports we love to watch. Streaming live on Facebook and Twitter. Download the 9:30 a.m. The Answer app to listen.
And now a word on retirement from Del Walmsley.
The average person thought they retire at 59 and a half, 60, then they said 64, then it was 65, then it was 66, then all of a sudden they jump right to 70. 70 is the new 59, 70 is the new 64. Then it was, hey, most people are going to work all the way into their 80s.
Do you really want to work in your 80s? Or would you like to retire in 5 years or less? Find out how on Lifestyles Unlimited's live online free workshop. Register at lifestylesunlimitedworkshop.com.
News stories from around the world and how they affect you all day, every day. Told by the most trusted names in conservative talk. Listen live anytime using our mobile app through TuneIn, iHeart, or Odyssey.com. This is 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Portions of this hour's programming may be pre-recorded. Sweep the League, sponsored by Sweep the League Radio. On 9:30 a.m., The Answer.
One is a local UTSA legend and former NBA player. Another is a future megastar as a music producer. While one is just a baseline bum who loves to talk about sports. What do all 3 have in common? Well, nothing. I mean, they all live in San Antonio, I guess. Sweep the League, sponsored by United Collision Care Center, is on the air with Rudy Campos Jr., Derek Gervin, and Shemaya Reed. You have a problem with that? Didn't think so. It's time for Sweep the League.
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Like Carrie Underwood says, it's waiting all day for Sunday night. It is Sunday night. It is Sweep the League from 9:30 a.m. The Answer, sponsored by United Collision Care Center, Project Spurs, and What's on Second. Gentlemen, another happy weekend coming to a close because UTSA wins 10-0. Very, very dirty win at that. Tough win right there. We're going to be talking to Nick Carrizales on that. He's going to be on with us here in just a minute. Great win for the Cowboys. You guys are happy. Obviously, I'm a Falcon fan, have been a Dirty Bird for my entire life. So this was a terrible day for me, NFL-wise. But you guys want to give us a call on the Project Spurs hotline, 210-308-8867, to give me crap about my Dirty Birds and that embarrassing 40-point loss. It's not every day I can say the Detroit Lions are better than the Atlanta Falcons for one day. I can't say that every single day. Detroit ended up tying, which is like kissing your sister from what I've been hearing, apparently. This is Sweep the League, guys. We got tons of stuff coming up. Longhorns failures. We've got Rocky here in studio to talk about that. Project Spurs, sponsored Spurs Cheeseman coming up. Cowboy talk, like we said. We're playing the pyramid again. Derek and I looking to go on a win streak, something that our Spurs are not experiencing right now. Gentlemen, to Sweep the League, Derek Gervin, Shamar on the beats, Rocky in studio, Stats and Galler, who did bring in McDonald's, and I am very upset at that because I'm trying to push Burger Boy, and we've got him bringing in McDonald's.
Well, I mean, if you pay me more, I wouldn't have to go to McDonald's.
If I paid him more, he would not go to McDonald's. He would be at Burger Boy. So
or if someone from Burger Boy is listening.
If Burger Boy is listening, we need some free Burger Boy for Galler here. Guys, Derek, how's your weekend been so far, man?
So far, so good. Another day. Glad to be here. Glad to be a part of the show tonight.
Awesome, man. Hey, your Bills won.
Well, I mean, what do you expect? They're only going to get better as the season goes on.
I'm just glad that Josh Allen finally showed up for my fantasy team compared to last week. Rocky, you ready to talk Longhorns later on? You walked in sad.
Unfortunately, man. I mean, it's just hard.
I want the words on Sark here. We got to get all that going here. But you know what? We're not going to start on a depressing moment here. It is UTSA right now. Birds up, 10-0, very hard-fought victory. Shout out to Shemaiah on the beats. He's got some great song that's going viral. So shout out to Shemaiah on that. That's his beat for real. He's the man. He's the man. Speaking of the man, Nick is on the line with us from Roadrunners Unfiltered. Nick, yesterday's victory, you and I probably had the same feeling. Dirty win, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't one that we all expected, right? I think that we expected a stomp, but as Coach like to say, a win's a win, and they're hard to come by. And at the end of the day, it looks like we came out with a victory for sure, though.
Yeah, man, it was a very tough win. It was a matchup that I expected UTSA to dominate. I was expecting a 30+ point victory yesterday. I think Shemaiah and I, who were on the press box with you, we were expecting the same thing. But what would you take out of this game here? Because obviously Coach Traylor did say, you're going to have wins like this, and wins like this actually make your team better. I mean, it's a great learning experience. What can we take out of this win for UTSA? Because we didn't see great performances by the defense to the very last 3 possessions from Southern Miss. Not only that, I mean, Frank Harris looked a little not rattled, but he looked like he was having an off day. The offense just didn't seem in sync. What were you looking at last night, or actually yesterday afternoon at the game, that just didn't feel right on this UTSA team?
Yeah, look, I think right off the bat, once I saw, Frank Gore Jr. Start as quarterback and started to see that they were in a wildcat offense, definitely, I think, threw us all off. I don't think anybody expected that. And I guess what I got from that is, Southern Mississippi, they went all in. I don't think they had anything to lose, right? They've only won 1 game all season. And so do I think it was a surprise? Yes. Does Coach think it was a surprise? No. But I don't know if we were prepared for that. And look, I think they were in possession of the ball about 40 minutes to that game. I think it was 37 minutes. And so you're talking about a team that literally took the ball away from us, and we weren't able to score. And so Yes, the offense wasn't there, and Frank Harris did not look like the Frank Harris that we know. But it was just a very different game from the start. But you're right, man. I'm with you. We should have dominated that game, and we didn't do that.
Hey, good evening. This is Derek Gervin. I wanted to say I'm looking at the other side. I know they struggled today, or they struggled yesterday. I'm sorry, but for them to hang on like they did, I saw there was a lot of toughness out there, a lot of grit. And what it's all about, Coach Traylor has instilled in them, it's all about finishing the job. And I thought they did well, especially in a year of all these teams being upset and they're getting all these L's on their record. The object is when you're not playing well, to still be able to go out and finish the job and do all the little things at the end. And I feel at the end, that's what they did in the second half, and they brought it home. And I was proud of the guys for sucking it up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Look, winners win at the end of the game, right? And in previous UTSA football games, we couldn't, or in previous season, we couldn't say that we did that, right? The fourth quarter hump, and so this is a big test, and I think that this is a game that we needed going into this next weekend's game because I think it was a big wake up call. But yeah, to your point, I'm glad that we finished the game and winners win, and they finished the game.
Now, can I say this quickly? I know we'll probably be penalized because, but look a year. Who would believe we would have a time when they'd be talking about the Road Runners not playing up to par, and we still winning by 10 points, and we've been undefeated this year. So I'm just proud of how far we've come. So I think that's great, and the skies is still looking up for us. The only things are going to get better.
Hey, Rudy.
Yeah.
Real quick. I did get a chance to watch the game last night, and maybe can chime in.
So you were working then? All right.
Yeah, I was watching the game. Yeah, yesterday. Do you think that their game plan of taking the clock all the way down to single digits also affected UTSA a little bit, or were they just not ready for that as well?
You asking me or Nick?
Anybody?
I mean,
yeah, Nick.
I can say that. Well, the thing with that, it was kind of if that was a part of the game, if that was a part of the game plan for Southern Miss, it helped them in a way, but it didn't, because as Nick can attest to it, there was a bunch of delay of game penalties, and a lot of it had to do with the crowd, but they got a lot of delay of game penalties. And that is one of the reasons why I feel the Roadrunners were able to get out with the victory too. There was a lot of those penalties. There was a lot of false starts, a lot of penalties a lot of delay game penalties. That was one of the reasons why I felt that UTSA was able to pull out the victory. The other one is actually because Frank Gore Jr. went out with injury. He was dominating that whole offense for Southern Miss. I think with those two things happening, I'm not going to say save the Roadrunners, because that defense was just getting hulked up towards the end of the game. So I still think they would have pulled it off. But those penalties were really hurting Southern Miss. I want to get Nick's take on that, because I wanted to bring up the penalties on Southern Miss. Also, that significant injury to Frank Gore Jr. that did happen in the game. Nick, I want you to stay on the line. We're going to bring you back after this commercial break here. We're talking to Nick of Runners Unfiltered podcast, Derek Gervin, Shimon on the Beats. Rocky in studio. He's still crying over the Longhorns. We're going to get him some tissues here. Rudy Campos Jr., the guys behind the glass. It's a party here at Sweep the League. As always, we're talking Roadrunners, Longhorns, Spurs, Cowboys, Falcons, maybe? No? Nobody wants to? All right, I hear the boos. I hear the boos. This is Sweep the League from the 9:30 a.m. studios. We'll be back.
Sweep the League in the house.
United Collision Care Center, official sponsor of Sweep the League, specializes in body paint, frame, and mechanical services, from light cosmetic repairs to heavy collision hits, as well as fleet maintenance. All technicians are platinum certified by ICAR, the top training organization in the collision industry. Quality and customer service are what their business ethics are based on. Trust is the hardest thing to build and the easiest thing to lose. So let's build a mutual relationship that starts with trust and a peace of mind. Contact Lewis and his staff today, 210-595-6413, or visit them at 6575 Pratt Road.
You've been listening to Sweep the League Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Sweep the League. Shemaya is at Shemaya on the BT. Or what about Chris Geller at Official Mr. 300? Sweep the League Radio, sponsored by Project Spurs, the United Collision Care Center. If you want to go visit them, you can also visit us at www.sweeptheleague.com. Hey, sports fans, trading cards is all the hype and it's absolute fire now. Where do you get the best sports cards in town? What's on second? Over on 4177 Nacro Parent Boulevard. Give them a call, 210-590-8444. They have everything you need. Sports cards, basketball, baseball, football, Pokemon cards, sports memorabilia, whatever you want, they've got over at What's on Second. And pick up the phone. Call us on the Project Spurs hotline, 210-308-8867. You've been listening to Sweep the League on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Don't turn that dial. Hey, guys, it's Sweep the League. You've been listening to Sweep the League. Be sure to follow us on all of our Twitters, at Shemaya on the BT, at Sweep the League is myself. Why not go follow Chris Galler at official Mr. 300, or head over to the website, www.sweeptheleague.com. Again, Sweep the League Radio. The gangsta music. Shemaya dropping up some gangsta music, old school gangsta music. Rudy Campos Jr., ravishing Rudy Campos, Derek Gervin, Shemaya on the beats, Rocky in studio, the guys behind the glass. I'm going to give Galler a pay raise because he said he wants to eat Burger Boy. So he got bumped from 5 cents an hour to 10 cents an hour. That should get him a working man special eventually. This is Sweep the League Radio. United Collision Care Center. Guys, if you were in an accident, we know it's stressful. Go see the guys over at United Collision Care Center. Luis and his staff are all certified techs. 210-595-6413. Go visit them, 6575 Frat Road, or www.unitedcollisiontexas.com. What's on second? Well, that was the old baseball joke. Well, who's on second? Who's on first? All that other stuff. No, this is what's on second. 210-590-8444, 4177 Nacro Parent Boulevard. Pokemon is hot right now. I don't know anything about Pokemon other than Pikachu, I think is one. That's about it. I don't know much about it, but I know that they are hot. They are choosing you to go get your Pokemon fix. Go to What's on Second. Get all the Pokemon you need there. Last but not least, Project Spurs. #1 Spurs coverage in all the land. How do we know? We've got Rocky here from Project Spurs. Steven Anderson is going to be calling us from Project Spurs. We are Project Spurs out. Project Spurs. Visit them across all social media platforms. We've got Nick from Runners Unfiltered Podcast talking UTSA, the hottest ticket right now in San Antonio. Nick, we were talking about penalties for Southern Miss and the Frank Gore injury. I was basically saying, Frank Gore was just tearing up the Roadrunners defense. I mean, if he was still on the field, the game would have been a lot closer than what it actually was at the end. We know UTSA got a fumble, back-to-back fumbles, and an interception to ice the game on the last 3 possessions for Southern Miss. But not only that, Southern Miss had a bunch of penalties. We're talking false starts. We're talking delay of games. That was a big momentum killer. But for you right there, were those momentum uptickers, as I'm going to say, for the UTSA program? Because we were talking here in studio, it just seemed like the offense was a little rattled. The defense was still trying to find themselves, and those little penalties were kind of helping them out a little bit. Do you find that as that being a turning point for the game right there for the Roadrunners?
Yeah, no, exactly. Look, I think, I'm not a player or anything, but here's the thing is I think there was a lot of keys this week, right? I mean, we got ranked in all categories. We're going into double digit 10-0. This team had only won 1 game all season, so I think that we got punched in the mouth. I think we really got punched in the mouth for sure. And, I give it up to the UTSA crowd, right? Like coming up with over 30,000 in this game. And I think it really changed this ball game. I mean, like I said, I think we had like a total of 8, combination of delayed games and false starts. And I think that was huge. And to your second point, yeah, I think Frank Gore Jr. leaving this game was very pivotal. Because he is their star, and every team that has a star, and that's all they got, then you're going to have a very significant impact as the rest of the game goes. So I'm with you on those points.
Thank you, Nick. Hey, we had you on today. We're going to have you on next week as well because UTSA is playing UAB at home, the final home game for Roadrunners this year. Unless they get to, I think the championship. I think it should be here if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Nick?
Yeah, huge game next weekend. UAB has only lost one game in conference. So here's the thing. If UAB comes out and beats us next weekend, our conference title, it ain't going to happen. So next weekend is the Super Bowl of all games for the whole season. So a big game.
Yes, sir, it is. Hey, guys, if you want to follow Nick and everything he does on Twitter, it's at Nick_Carrizales. It's CARRIZALES. Or also go follow his podcast at RR_Unfiltered, Runners Unfiltered Podcast. Nick, thank you for joining us every single week. We're looking forward to talking to you next week, hopefully after another UTSA victory. Birds up, 210 triangle of toughness. Hashtag meet me. Anything you got left to say to everybody out there for UTSA football?
Look, I'm excited, right? I'm excited. We got a hell of a game we got to come up with this weekend. And, I'm just ready to make it happen. It's great to be a Roadrunner fan for sure right now in the city of San Antonio.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Appreciate you inviting me and Shemaya to the tailgate y'all had out there, man. It was I feel bad because I was telling you no on food and stuff, but I got to watch my figure. I still don't have a great figure. I don't even have a dad bod yet, man, but I appreciate you offering everything, man. But we appreciate everything you do. We will talk to you next week, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
That was Nick. That was Nick from Roadrunners Unfiltered. Were you guys scared yesterday? Because I'm not going to say Shemaya and I were confident after seeing Frank Gore go off a little bit, Roadrunners going down. You know, they were trailing there. Derek shaking his head. No, he wasn't scared. But Rocky, I mean, I want to ask you real quick. Were you a little bit concerned? I mean, because the defense really wasn't what we had been seeing all year.
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned. I mean, on the way to Austin, I was watching the game, and I expected them to kill Southern Miss. You know, Southern Miss was last in offense statistically, and I knew they had Frank Gore Jr., who was a baller. And I'm here, traveling to Austin. I'm like, how is UTSA down, man? But then again, I knew it was kind of a trap game, but I just feel like they should have easily beat them. But I'm glad they took care of business, and I saw they dropped, I think a rank or two in the AP or the coaches poll. But I just feel like I think I saw you mention on Twitter that the next two games they got to win by a lot to get some style points and move up in the ranking. So hopefully that'll happen.
Yeah, I think that if they want to get taken, no, they're taken serious. I'm not going to say they're not taken serious. They are being taken serious, but to get that ranking up, especially in the college football playoff poll, they've got to win the next two games by 30 plus. I mean, it's got to be massive wins for this. You were shaking your head no. I know you were shaking your head because you weren't worried. You're never worried. You are that confident in the Birds like we are.
Well,
why were you shaking your head no?
if you look at when they played the games at the few that they've been behind, I believe Memphis. If you look at the way they played, they struggled to the fourth quarter and in the big game, and then they played well at the end. They continue to fight the entire game, and the game is not going to always be smooth. I mean, you're playing a 60-minute game, so you're going to have ebbs and flows. And what I see about them is they don't get rattled. They continue to play all the way through. And at the end, in the fourth quarter, they make big plays, whether it's on the offensively or if it's defensively. And to me, that's what a winner is. I'm sorry they don't get the respect that they deserve, but I already knew they would drop in the rankings just by having a close game. Well, they called it close, 10 points. But I knew we're still not getting the respect. But all we do, continue to win and then let the chips fall where they may.
I think we've got a stat from one of the guys at the in the cubicle in the back there, but a stat. So we got a stat back here for UTSA because I know you had something as far as record.
Yeah. So in a season with a bunch of history being made here for the school, so Joshua Cephas has the single season receptions record right now after this most recent game.
So he has a chance to capitalize on that. They've got great receivers at UTSA. They really do. They got a great running back who, according to Rocky earlier, is supposed to get drafted by the Falcons in the mock draft. That we saw. I will take Sincere all day, every day, because my Falcons need a lot of help. They need tons of help. They don't need Detroit help. They need a lot of help, though, but not.
Yeah, you don't need
we don't need Lions help.
You need Sincere McCormick and Jamal Anderson.
Why? You're breaking my heart.
Hey, look at the positive. They won the World Series, so it's not all. It's not.
But I'm not a Braves fan.
Well, but Atlanta's happy about it. You got to take what you can get.
Aren't you a Giants fan?
I am a Giants fan. Yeah, best team in baseball and knocked out of the first round. Thank you, Derek and Chris, for breaking my heart, because my heart hasn't been broken today because of the Cowboys, right? We've got about 2 minutes of this segment. We have a phone call. Aiden's on the line. Aiden, what do you got for us, man? Welcome back to Sweep the League.
Hey, what's going on, Rudy? How you doing tonight?
Good, brother. How you doing?
I got to address something real quick. So what happened with the Falcons tonight, dude?
Oh, God. This is, let's just say.
You want me to hang up on him right now?
No, man. I was expecting to get some Falcon hate today, maybe love somewhere, but let's just say I'm used to losing. It doesn't surprise me. I can't speak for the entire Falcon team or organization, but I will say we suck. We just suck. That's plain and simple. I can't explain. We need a lot of help. That's all I can say. And congrats on the Cowboys. You beat a terrible team. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, man, I can get losing, but I mean, losing 3-43, that's just that's death, man. That ain't
Almost
losing.
Super Bowl-esque.
Oh,
How many years are they now from the Super Bowl, from the Patriots, from the Patriots game?
Let me ask the smart caller here, Aiden. How many years do you think the Falcons are away from a Super Bowl here, Aiden?
You said how many years away do I think they are?
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll ever make it.
Oh, God.
Don't give up on them, hey.
I don't think they'll ever gonna make it.
Wow. I'm getting a lot of grief tonight.
It seemed like Matty Ice played up to his name. It was ice cold, right?
Oh, God.
Hey, did you guys? There was a meme going around when the Cowboys were up 28-3. Rudy, I believe some people started trolling Atlanta Falcons Twitter page, or somebody did. I don't remember where it was from, but
I'm glad that one of our big breaks is coming up, because now I need to go get some crying tissues for me. Aiden, I appreciate you again for breaking my heart in the swift kick to the junk there before we go on a big break here. Thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate you calling in all the time.
You have a good one.
Thank you, brother. That is Aiden, man. You know, you guys, I was hoping to make it through the show without getting all this Falcon, love. From
hey, Rudy,
you
I know
guys.
we're about to go to break, but do you really feel
What do you-
bad? I mean, if you feel bad, you can go to Burger Boy. They'll cheer you up.
So you're implying that food makes me feel good, and I've been trying to stay away from all this bad food. You guys are terrible. I'm gonna gain weight because of all you guys in studio. My wife's gonna be very upset. Oh no, she's a Cowboy fan. She's happy right now. I gotta go home to a happy wife. Yay me. This is Sweep the League Radio, 9:30 a.m. The Answer, United Collision Care Center, Project Spurs. What's on second? We'll be back.
Don't let the stress of getting into an accident keep you down. Contact United Collision Care Center, where Lewis and his certified technicians will get you back on the road in no time. They're a 5-star company with over 270 reviews on carwise.com. Quality and customer service are what separate them from the rest, making them the best. Specializing in body, paint, frame, and mechanical services, from light cosmetic repairs to heavy collision hits, United Collision Care Center does it all. Contact them today at 210-595-6413 or visit their shop at 6575 Pratt Road. Again, that's United Collision Care Center, the best in the business and official sponsor of Sweep the League.
You've been listening to Sweep the League Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Sweep the League. Shemaya is at Shemaya on the BT. Or what about Chris Geller at official Mr. 300? Sweep the League Radio, sponsored by Project Spurs and United Collision Care Center. If you want to go visit them, you can also visit us at www.sweeptheleague.com. Two Shots Podcast is a fun-filled extravaganza bringing you into the world of sports and entertainment. Joe Garcia and the staff keep you updated on Spurs, combat sports, Dallas Cowboys, and my favorite, everything in Nerdville like Marvel and DC. Head to the line for Two Shots, as in Two Shots Podcast, available across all streaming platforms. No sport is bigger than football here in the Lone Star State. High school football is king on Friday nights, so listening to Along the Wire with B. Damone is a must. Brandon brings you all the latest news and notes, as well as rankings for our local high school football teams here in San Antonio. Cue up the band, get comfortable in your bleacher seat, and tune in for the best high school coverage around with Along the Wire.
You know what the difference is between you and me? I make this look good.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. Police in Dallas say a woman has been arrested after punching a Southwest Airlines employee in the head during boarding for a flight from Dallas to New York. The 32-year-old woman charged with aggravated assault. The employee was taken to a hospital with minor injuries. Bomb blast at a hospital in Liverpool early today. British authorities say 3 arrests have been made. One person was killed in the explosion. Several others have been hurt. An Associated Press investigation finding more than 100 Federal Bureau of Prison employees have been arrested, convicted, or sentenced in criminal cases since 2019. They've been accused of crimes ranging from smuggling to sexually assaulting inmates and murder. And a new group says 160,000 U.S. military members are living without food. This is SRN News.
9:30 a.m. The Answer.
That's what I wanted. I like that coming back. That is massively good. Thank you, Shemai on the beats. Derek Gervin, ravishing. Well, I don't know. I'm not even ravishing anymore because I'm getting Falcon hate all show, and it's going to continue all show. But at least I'm not a Longhorn fan. Rocky's in studio. The guys behind the glass, they were giving me hell about the Falcons. But before I get into that Detroit Lions talk that I'm going to bring up here, United Collision Care Center, Project Spurs, what's on second? You talk about triangle of toughness. That is a triangle built for Sweep the League Radio. Thank you to all of our sponsors there. Appreciate everything y'all do for us. Anything we can do for you, we will do. Guys, quick question. Before we go to Steven Anderson for some SAFC talk, because they had a huge win last night. I got to ask this. When was the last time the Lions were in the Super Bowl? Crickets.
Derek,
Crickets.
I'm going to say
Crickets.
never.
Okay, so y'all are giving me heat for my Falcons, but yeah, we've been to 2 Super Bowls. And I'm trying to figure out when the Lions, if you're playing Madden, you can make it to the Super Bowl with the Lions on easy. Yes, but this isn't Madden. The only thing that y'all have come close to a Super Bowl is hosting one. That's it.
They probably won't be up 28-3 though if they do make it. And then lose.
See, there's always something around there. The Lions try to get the first win, and they can't. They tie. So enough of the Falcon hate. And you know
they would have been better off just sitting on the bus.
It's like I said, I can't ever remember a day where I can say the Falcons are worse than the Lions because the Lions tied. And they're worse than the Texans. And the Texans didn't even play. So they didn't even lose.
Hey, Rudy.
Yeah.
Rudy and Shemai, at least the Lions can now not go 0-17.
They cannot be the first team to go 0-17. That is a great point. They can still go 0-16, which is something that they are used to, 0-16. Enough of that. Enough of the cheap shots, because Derek is probably going to throw me out the window here. Thank God he's on the other side of the studio here. SAFC soccer last night, huge win over Rio Grande Valley FC, 3-1. The crowd was rocking. I had not been to a SAFC game. I will admit that. I've kind of followed them, but I had yet to go to one. Chris has actually been to a couple of games. That atmosphere was hot. And you know what's blazing? Steven Anderson of Project Spurs. He's going to give us a lowdown from last night. Steven, welcome to Sweep the League. Project Spurs, brother.
Hey, Rudy. How you doing, guys? It's good to be on. Yes, I'm not going to give you any Falcon hate. I'm a Cowboys fan myself, but everyone knows the Cowboys have had a crappy last decade, so I'm not one to talk about it. But yeah, guys, SAFC, great season, great game last night.
For sure, man. For sure. I enjoyed the atmosphere. I loved it. Now, I am terrified of heights. And I'm also terrified of closed-in spaces. So covering the game on press row, in the media row, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to lie. I didn't want to move very much last night. And when I did, I faced towards the press box. So I wasn't looking down, man. How do you do it every single time you cover the game, bro?
Oh, man, it does take some getting used to. The first time, and it's not as bad because there's like a gate and there's a table. But the thing, it was cold last night.
Yeah.
And in a way, I'm happy they're going to be on the road for the rest of the season because it's going to get colder as we get closer to Thanksgiving and beyond. So I'm okay being in the comfort of my own home, just watching the games. But man, I'm telling you, being on press row last night was probably I've covered this team since they started playing back in 2016, and it is the best. Last night was the best atmosphere I've seen at Toyota Field, even better than 2017, because this just feels different, Rudy. It feels very different than what we've seen from this team in the past. And I mean, just you were there. I mean, you saw how good this team can be.
Oh my God, this team can be. It's mind-boggling to me, because I was telling Chris last night, who was with me covering the game, and shout out to the ESPN camera guy who almost hit me a couple of times with the camera. He was trying to knock some sense into me for sure. But you're right. This team, I mean, you had Santiago Patino with 2 goals, Nathan with 1. My boy, because he graduated from he's from Central Catholic, is Jose Gallegos. This team looked amazing, man. And if fans haven't been out there yet, you know, obviously you can't make it this season because there's no more home games. But for next season, give me real quick of the future of this team. What can they expect going after this season before we get into this Western Conference talk here?
Well, next season, I mean, obviously, first of all, let's hope that all COVID protocols are out of the way by then. Let's hope so, because, I mean, you know, going through all that's a hassle. But, I mean, other than that, like next season, this team could possibly, I mean, again, Rudy, for those who don't know, for your listeners who don't know, the USL usually changes their roster turnover from year to year. So as far as seeing these same guys next season, I don't know if you'll see that. But what I do know is as far as Jose Gallegos, he is going to be a hot commodity around the league and even overseas. I mean, there was talk about him going possibly overseas to play in Germany, and during the transfer window is open. Obviously, that window passed, so he is still in San Antonio. I mean, I'm no betting guy here, but I would just say I would not expect to see Jose Gallegos next season if you're a San Antonio FC fan, because that guy is a hot commodity right now. And just look what as you said, he is a player that is young, and when he has it turned on, he has it turned on, and we've seen him have it turned on in this postseason. There could be some changes goalkeeping wise. There could be some changes on the defense, but secretly, I am hoping that this team can stay together for the foreseeable future, because this team is a very dangerous team right now, and if you can lock this team down for at least one more season, they can make a serious run toward the championship if they don't make it this season.
I agree, man. It was so exciting last night. I loved every single minute of it. I was telling Chris as well. I was like, man, I understand soccer's physical, but I also understand that there's a lot of acting, I guess, into it. And I was like, oh, man, you know, why wasn't that called? Oh, man, this happened. I think the hardest hit last night would have been the cameraman nailing me in the head. But I didn't see I saw different things last night, but great points, man. I hope that this team does stay together. I thoroughly enjoyed them. I would love to see them again. Going into the Western Conference Finals game here, you've covered the SAFC for a while now. So you said since the beginning, they're going up against who is, I believe, OC is who they're going up against. Okay, so OC. Is this a game that we can see SAFC dominate? Is it somebody that is going to give them fits? I mean, how do you foresee this game going in the Western Conference Finals for SAFC?
Well, I mean, so with this whole division and with the way the USL has their current standings and things like that, SAFC doesn't get to play every team in the West, just like you would see like in the NBA or in the NFL, like the Cowboys would play every team in their division, like things like that. You don't normally see that, you know, in the USL. So because of that, San Antonio has not played Orange County in the past couple of seasons. So that's what already makes it difficult. RGV, they played them before their arrival. You know what to expect from them. But I think you're going to see a feeling out process for the first maybe 20, 25 minutes of the game on Saturday, where these two are going to feel each other out, because obviously while they are two very good teams, you got to get a feel for who you're playing against a little bit. So I think that's what you're going to see a little bit. But going into after I came home last night watching that Oakland and Orange County game, I'm thinking, is this thing going to go into penalties for like the next 5 hours? I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, you know, it was a close game. Obviously, OC won. But the thing is, OC probably should have won, not even needing extra time, because Oakland is a team that's been struggling for a very long time. They were fortunate to get into the playoffs. They were fortunate to even get into the second round. But I mean, you take down a team like El Paso, like Oakland did, all bets are off. And so for San Antonio, they've never been in this stage before. This is the farthest they've ever gone. They've never made it past the second round. Now they have. But going on the road is going to be difficult, Rudy, because San Antonio has struggled on the road mightily the first half of this 2021 season. Midway through from May until probably like July, early August, they went winless completely on the road and at home. Then they turned it on ever since then. So I think this team is finding their stride at the right time. They're playing well on both sides of the ball. If not for that penalty late last night, they probably would have had another clean sheet. So that would have made it 4 clean sheets in a row. So they're playing well. I think if any team can go into OC and knock them off on the road, it will be San Antonio, because the way they're playing right now is phenomenal.
Awesome, Stephen. We've got Steven Anderson from Project Spurs giving us the 4-1-1 on SAFC Soccer, getting a big win last night against the Toros of Rio Grande Valley FC, heading on to play the OC. There's a lot of C's in all these things. Golly. Playing the OC in the Western Conference Finals. Steven Anderson, Project Spurs. Steven, before we let you go, we got a couple minutes here. Chris was there with me, and I want to get Chris's little intake on this. He's a big fanboy, so he was excited to meet you, as everybody is. Chris, you wanted to talk to Steven about something, because I knew we were bringing up some stuff last night about the game itself.
I mean, yeah, he kind of covered really everything. I thought that their spacing was very good, in that, the whole game really, but the first half I was impressed with their spacing from what I can see. And then me and Rudy were talking about it. The Toros, Rudy turned to me and said that it looks like Pee-wee soccer, the way that the Toros were playing. Now, I don't know if you could comment on that. They looked disoriented.
Thank
I don't
you,
know if that's
driver, for that.
You're welcome. I don't know if that's just how they looked, but they looked better in the second half. The Toros did. Kind of back and forth with them, but I was impressed by San Antonio's spacing. That's really all I have to say. I enjoy watching soccer.
Yeah, Steven, give us a quick 30-second on the me calling it Pee-wee soccer, because Chris decided to bring that up.
Or whatever you called it. Yeah.
Well, Pee-wee soccer, that's something I'm going to actually put in the memory bank and use that for next season when RGV comes to town. But I will say is that, you're right, Chris, and Rudy, both of you guys are right. The fact that the spacing was very good for San Antonio. You saw from the minute that whistle blew and the ball went up, or the ball was kicked, I should say, that Gallego shot on net 36 seconds in. San Antonio never really gave RGV a chance to really get set up defensively or even offensively. The defense for San Antonio was giving RGV fits. I expect more of the same this weekend or this coming or next Saturday in OC. I don't know what's going to happen, obviously, but I'm hoping it'll be a San Antonio win, so I can be back next Sunday talking to you about a possible finals match for San Antonio.
The Toros only had 2 corner kicks. There was not much going on that.
Well, let me say this real quick, Steven. Let me bring you back real quick after this quick commercial break. It is Steven Anderson, Project Spurs, Derek Gervin, Shimon on the Beats, Rocky, Rudy, guys behind the glass. This is the crowded thing. I guarantee you, Rocky's fine. He's fine until I bring up the Longhorns. But it is Spurs Cheeseman coming up after we're done here with Steven Anderson. It's his time to shine. Longhorns, baby. I got to get the heat off of me for the Falcons. Sweep the League. We'll be back. All you music heads out there, from punk to metal to indie, the Chuck Van Show plays the best in real local music from San Antonio and around Texas. Real new music you're not hearing anywhere else. Sundays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on modsnapradio.com. It's the Chuck Vance Show.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm Mark the MC, and you are listening to Sweep the League Radio. Before we get back to the show, here's a message from I Am Refocused.
I'm focused, man. Focused.
IamRefocusedRadio.com are proud friends of Sweep the League Radio. With new interviews each week, we are looking for special guests. Do you have a story? Are you an athlete, music artist, business owner? Visit IamRefocusedRadio.com today and send us a message. Now, back to Sweep the League Radio.
Spurs season isn't just 82 games, but year-round. That's why you need to make sure you have the best coverage around at all times. Project Spurs provides you with the most in-depth Spurs coverage all day, every day. Articles, analysis, and live game coverage provided by some of the best journalists in the business. Need more? Listen to the Spurs Cast with Paul Garcia for even more Spurs-related news and notes. Visit ProjectSpurs.com for all the latest Spurs information, or follow them on social media. Twitter is at Project Spurs, or just search for Project Spurs on Facebook and Instagram. Project Spurs, dominating Spurs coverage and proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
Hey guys, it's Sweep the League. You've been listening to Sweep the League. Be sure to follow us on all of our Twitters at Shemaya on the BT, at Sweep the League is myself. Why not go follow Chris Galler at official Mr. 300, or head over to the website, www.sweeptheleague.com. Again, Sweep the League Radio. Wow, man, I'm laughing because this is good. This guy knows his music. Obviously, he's going to have a viral #1 hit song coming out very soon. Shemaya on the beats, Derek Gervin, Rocky, the guys behind the glass, and yours truly, ravishing. Well, no, we can't. Relentlessly, no. We'll just say Rudy Campos because the Falcons, they suck and they lost. So we're not even going to go into that no more. We're talking about good teams today. UTSA earlier, SAFC now. Texas law. Well, hold on. Detroit, no. San Antonio's. We'll get to a good team in a little bit here, but we're going to continue on SAFC. 9:30 a.m. The Answer. This is Sweep the League. United Collision Care Center. Hey, if you need to give them a call, 210-595-6413. What's on second? Derek Gervin has a bunch of rookie cards out there. Go on a scavenger hunt and find one. 210-590-8444. What's on second? Go get the Pokemon too. Crazy. It's hot right now. Last but not least, Project Spurs, the #1 Spurs content coverage in all the land. Follow them across all social media at Project Spurs. Steven Anderson is still on the line. I promise to only keep you just for a little while longer. We talked about Pee Wee soccer here, but Galler basically screamed at me and said, I need to ask Steven this question. Galler, take it away because I'm tired of you biting at my ankles here, bro. Come on.
I didn't have Burger Boy today. Real quick, Steven. So I'm looking at the box score here, the possession. Now, I'm not a statistician. I don't know how all this works, but they're saying that
you can barely do your job now.
Yeah,
of course you're not a statistician.
Here we go. All right. This possession 66.6% for the Toros. Is that? I mean, does that seem right? Because I didn't feel like it was that much.
I mean, yeah. So possession-wise, that's always a little tricky. On the eye, it may not look like that, but statistically, it's always different. So yeah, and SAFC usually will play. They honestly, it's weird. They play their best soccer without the ball. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Defensively, they usually play better than offense.
I mean, they won the aerial.
Yeah,
they won that. They won the dual success rate. Like all that's positive. They had 16 interceptions. They did have one offside call, which I guess I missed that. Didn't see that. 4 corners, which doesn't seem like a lot, but 4-2 on the corners. I mean, that just shows that Toros really didn't get down there that much.
Yeah, again, contribute that to the San Antonio defense. I mean, they did not allow RGV to really get set up at all offensively. And as you said, corners was only just 2 for RGV for the whole game. Imagine that. You play 90-plus minutes, you only get 2 corners the whole game. I mean, that just shows you how not aggressive RGV was, especially to start the game. I think it's because San Antonio got them on their heels pretty much from the get-go. I mean, like I said, it's going to be a bigger challenge on the road. It's going to be colder in California than it is in South Texas. All these other factors are going to weigh in. That's it. I mean, you see this in any sport, no matter what it is. The best teams can win on the road. So if San Antonio is going to win a championship, they're going to have to do it on the road. And against 2 very tough teams in OC. And if they get past OC, either Tampa Bay or Louisville, Louisville's actually won the title a few times. Tampa Bay was in the title game last season. They look poised to do it again. It's going to be a tough road for San Antonio, but we'll see what happens.
That is Steven Anderson, Project Spurs, giving us the San Antonio FC 411. Best of luck to SAFC against the OC. And like I said, that's a lot of C's. So we hope that they do come back with a win. Steven, whether they win or lose, and we're going to say they're going to win because we have that much confidence here, we will have you back next Sunday. Are you willing to come back and talk to us knuckleheads here?
Always, definitely. Hopefully, I'll be celebrating another Cowboys victory. It's the Chiefs, so who knows?
Oh, see, bringing up the Cowboy stuff here. All right, Steven, appreciate you for coming on, man. Appreciate Steven Aronson, Project Spurs. Promised you guys it's Spurs Cheeseman time. Rocky, are you ready for Spurs Cheeseman?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right, this is your time to shine because before we get to the Longhorns, we got to get some Spurs Cheeseman. Give it to me, brother.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs Cheeseman. Dime, por favor.
All right, Rocky, this is your cue, man. What do we got on Cheeseman? Because I think we have a little bit of Cheeseman tonight.
Yeah, so I mean, Spurs played today. They dropped to 4-9. They lost 114-106. One of the big things you see Cheeseman wise was Derek White continues to struggle. There's a lot of debate whether we should take him out of the lineup and put in someone like Vassell. If you look at the box score, you saw Derek White play 29 minutes. He dropped 10 points. Vassell played 30 minutes. He had 19 points. So there needs to be a talk about that. And just, where are we going, man? Are we still, like we mentioned last week, are we going to make a trade, man? Or what are we doing? Because right now we're on pace for 25 wins, man. That's just crazy to me.
That's more wins than Detroit, the Lions. That's definitely more wins than the Falcons, probably, I'm sure. You're right, man. The Derek White struggles I've seen that across social media. I've even seen questions. I was on a podcast this past week with Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. Great podcast out there. We were talking about Keldon Johnson as well, so that'd be another subject that we hit on. But you're right on the Derek White front. Derek, I mean, I know he shares your first name, and you're the better Derek. We're not gonna lie, you're the better Derek of the two. What's going on with Derek White? I actually touched on it on Jeff's podcast a little bit, and I said, I don't know if it's something maybe plaguing him injury-wise, that he's maybe fully not recovered yet. Is it a wall that he's hit? I can't seem to figure it out. But like we've always said, you being the player, you've got more of the insight on this.
I think it might have a little still to do with the injury. He's coming back and still trying to get back in top basketball shape, I believe. He's not all the way there. But if you look at it, it's hard to figure out the Spurs. What is their strategy? I mean, if you look at it, they have a lot of guards. And if you look at their starters, I mean, you got Drew Eubanks out there with 2 points, McDermott with 8 points, Derek White with 10 points. I'm still trying to figure out what is going to be their lineup as we go down the stretch. I know it's still early. I know Papa's going to make some adjustments. But if you look at like Devin Vassell, I'm wondering why he's really not in the starting lineup. I think he's proven himself over and over and again. And I think he's, if you look at it, between him and Keldon, it's a question which one of them are the two best players on the team. And I know you got DeJounte, but DeJounte needs people out there that he can get the ball to. I know he had a good game today. He had a triple-double, I believe. But who are going to be the guys that you're going to go to normally in the course of a 48-minute game? And I think Devin Vassell is one of those guys. So I like Derek White, but I'm still wondering if he's going to be used in a trade as we get near the deadline with Thaddeus Young possibly.
Yes. So going off that, I mean, personally, could you see Keldon and Devin getting inserted in the lineup together and maybe putting McDermott at the 4 and then Jakob?
I could see that because I think they're going to have to go small ball a lot more. I also like when Londell comes back. I like Thaddeus Young if they're going to use him. The biggest holdup is a lot of still they don't know questions. Is Thaddeus Young going to be here for the duration of the season, or is he just here right now building up his trade value? So all those things are the things the Spurs got to figure out as we move forward. And, the fans want to know. I want to know, what's the goal? Are we trying to tank, or are we going to try to bring in someone so we can win?
Man, that's a 4-letter word that a lot of people don't like in San Antonio, and it starts with a T, and that's tank. But I get what you're saying. There's no identity for this team yet. I guess, do we want to win? Do we want to go to the lottery? We've got great players up in the lottery, top 4 easily. We were talking earlier. You got Paolo Banchero from Duke. You've got Chet Holmgren. You've got Jalen Duren out of Memphis. I mean, there's some big guys there, some athletic big guys there. But going back to Vassell, we were talking. I saw a guy on Twitter who I heard you're on Twitter now.
Yes.
He is on Twitter.
Yeah,
We need 1,000 followers for Derek Gervin fast. Really, really fast. Go follow him. I don't even know his handle yet. We'll get it in a little bit.
I don't mind asking it. I answer any respectful questions, and I don't mind dealing with the fans at all. It's part of it. It's fun, and I love it. Let's go.
He doesn't want the KD type of stuff. Don't give him the KD
I'm
stuff.
thick-skinned. I think people will be respectful, but I don't mind if you got questions or you want to talk. Just reach out to me on Twitter, Derek Gervin. I'm there.
All right, we're going to give that Twitter handle here coming back. But before we get to a commercial break here, Devin Vassell, we were talking earlier. You were saying before, Kawhi Leonard is type player. That would be a good comparison for him. I really feel, one guy on Twitter said it, Scottie Pippen. I mean, a better shooter than Scottie Pippen, but I can see Devin not playing, but exactly like Scottie Pippen. I mean, the defense is there. He's got the tools that Pippen has, better shooting. Real quick, man, give me that insider with you on the Pippen, because I think that was kind of a comparison you liked as well.
I said Kawhi because of him being a former Spur and the way he started out at the beginning with Duncan and those guys. He had to bide his time. And he was a great two-way player, but we didn't know how well he could score. It's kind of the same with Vassell right now. I know they see it in practice. I think the guy's a flat-out scorer. He's a shooter. He can go off the dribble. I'm a big Devin Vassell fan, and I don't know if people remember on Facebook before the draft, I didn't only name one player that the Spurs would draft. I never named any other player. That was Devin Vassell. I'm a big fan.
See, that's why I don't understand why you're here on Sundays putting up with me and not on a coach's bench or somewhere in the NBA.
Well, I'll stay patient, man.
So you are leaving me. Just like that, he's leaving me. And we're leaving for a commercial break here. Shemai on the beats. Derek Gervin, please stay. Please stay. Don't go anywhere, man.
I love it here, my big fella. You're my partner, man. We partners.
Ravishing Rudy Campos, the guys behind the glass. Rocky Garza's doing good. He's fine. He's fine until we get to hour 2 when the Longhorns come up. Guys, call us Project Spurs hotline 210-308-8867. Falcon love or hate. Longhorn talk, UTSA, whatever you want to talk about, hitting the piano keys right now. We will be back.
Shemaya with the beats.
Locked On Spurs gives you in-depth access to your local San Antonio Spurs team 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Jeff Garcia brings you multiple weekly episodes to include the ever-so-popular fan episode, giving you the fans' perspective. Download all past or present episodes of Locked On Spurs on all streaming platforms. Get locked in today with Locked On Spurs.
You are listening to Sweep the League Radio.
The Profits Podcast dives deep into sports with your hosts, Kevin and Rashad. The guys deliver multiple aspects of all the sports we love, including Kev's reasons as to why you never pay a running back. Always a great time to be had on the Profits Podcast. Don't waste your time trying to predict the future of sports. Allow the real profits to do it for you on the Profits Podcast.
You are listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Are you looking for the most in-depth coverage of your Spurs teams? Project Spurs provides news and notes whether it's your San Antonio Spurs or the Austin Spurs. Amazing player analysis, game-by-game coverage, breaking news and articles. Project Spurs will be your first source each time. Also, listen to the Spurs Cast, the first Spurs podcast with Paul Garcia, to give you even more news and notes regarding your hometown Spurs. Michael and his staff make it a mission to provide you with everything you need to make you part of the action. Head over to ProjectSpurs.com or follow them across all social media platforms. Just search Project Spurs, proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
You've been listening to Sweep the League Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Sweep the League. Shemaya is at Shemaya on the BT. Or what about Chris Geller at official Mr. 300? Sweep the League Radio, sponsored by Project Spurs, the United Collision Care Center. If you want to go visit them, you can also visit us at www.sweeptheleague.com.
Hi, this is Milton Glick. You know, we're lucky in South Texas. We can garden throughout the year. The key to good gardening is good information, and that's where we can help. This Saturday and Sunday, join Dr. Jerry Parsons and Dr. Calvin Finch from Milberger's Gardening South Texas. Call in, or better yet, ask your question in person at Milberger's Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road. So, gather your questions and join us for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, Saturdays and Sundays from noon to 2, only on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Tell me. Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Talk to your doctor about creating a plan that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
The world is constantly changing, but your home for San Antonio's most trusted names in conservative talk is still the same. Listen live on Alexa with our mobile app or through TuneIn, iHeart, or Odyssey.com. This is 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Breaking news, stimulating talk. This is 9:30 a.m. The Answer. A division of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM. KLUP, Terrell Hills, San Antonio.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jason Walker. President Biden's nominee to head up the FDA facing some key opposition.
Democratic Senator Joe Manchin opposes Robert Califf's nomination to be the next FDA commissioner and is calling for a change in the culture at the FDA. Califf previously served at the FDA in the Obama administration, and the White House is confident in the president's nominee.
We feel he's a qualified person who has the exact experience for this moment.
Manchin, who also has opposed key parts of the president's economic agenda, says Califf's significant ties to the pharmaceutical industry take us backwards, not forward. Greg Clugston, Washington.
A new study that is simply gut-wrenching. The group Feeding America says 160,000 active-duty U.S. military members are having trouble feeding their families. Also at townhall.com. Investigators say an official at a suburban Detroit branch of the United Auto Workers took $2 million and spent it on cars, guns, and other luxury items.
Tim Edmonds was Secretary-Treasurer of UAW Local 412. He's charged with embezzlement and other crimes. Edmonds is the latest target in a corruption investigation that stunned the union and sent more than a dozen people to prison. UAW said its auditors discovered the improper expenditures and turned their findings over to federal authorities.
That is correspondent Jeremy House reporting in Washington. Researchers have uncovered the names of 102 Native American students who died at a federally operated boarding school in Nebraska. The discovery comes as ground-penetrating radar has been used in recent weeks to search for a cemetery once used by the school that operated from 1884 to 1934. So far, no graves have been found. More on these stories at townhall.com.
When you take the time to really get to know your body, you find that the root causes of its aches and pains are usually simple. The older we get, the more exercise we undertake, and the more injuries we sustain, the more inflammation our bodies suffer from. It's so simple. And my answer to that pain is Relief Factor, which I discovered years ago and take every single day to great effect. It helps the body to fight off inflammation, and I've never found anything that worked better in my life. I can't recommend it enough. 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it works for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. Feel the difference. relieffactor.com.
God bless us, everyone.
What's the biggest blessing you can imagine this Christmas season? How about having your mortgage or rent paid for 2022? It's possible when you enter the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Sweepstakes. Enter once a day to increase your opportunities to win. See rules and conditions for details.
To our Merry Christmas. God bless us.
God bless us.
Enter the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Sweepstakes. Visit 930amtheanswer.com. Sponsored by Elmer's Heating and Air.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Stay ahead of the curve and get the right information you need every day on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Take us wherever you go with our mobile app on Alexa or through TuneIn, iHeart, or Odyssey.com. This is 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Portions of this hour's programming may be pre-recorded. Sweep the League, sponsored by Sweep the League Radio on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
What do you call that? Michael Jackson? A little bit of Michael Jackson? What are we calling this? I don't.
I was
What
going
do
to say it's a little scary music because my
Scary?
Detroit Lions, they didn't want to show up.
Did you just say
Oh.
Michael Jackson? What?
Doesn't it have?
No.
It doesn't have a feel.
No.
See, I can't catch a break at all. Falcons lose.
I was going to say the Adams family.
Adams family? No. Whatever it is, call us on the Project Spurs hotline, 210-308-8867. Let us know what that is. Derek Gervin, Rocky, almost getting ready to take punches at the Longhorns. Shemai on the beats, not ravishing tonight. Rudy Campos Jr., the guys behind the glass, Galler and Stats are with us. Before we go to Brandon for our high school athlete of the week, Stats, I know we've got a game going on, Raiders and Chiefs. I need that update real quick.
And here it is. The Raiders just tied it up 7-7.
Ooh, Derek Harp with a touchdown pass
Yes, sir. As soon as you called
to
for
Hunter Renfro.
Yes, sir. As soon as you called for him.
See, I am the Schwam, not the real
What?
Schwam, because
So
that's Berman.
You have psychic abilities now?
I don't
or-
have psychic abilities. I have what everybody has, and that's their phone and the internet. That's how I was able to tell. So
All
I'm
for your
trying-
fantasy team.
All for the
Still
fantasy
gonna lose
team.
anyways.
You sweep the league radio 9:30 a.m. The Answer. United Collision Care Center. Accidents can be very stressful. Give them a call over at United Collision Care Center. Luis and the staff are all certified techs. 210-595-6413. What's on second? I'll tell you what's on second. Pokemon cards. The biggest craze right now. Getting crazier than sports cards right now. Go get your Pokemon cards over at What's on Second. Project Spurs, #1 Spurs coverage across all the land. Go visit them on social media, projectspurs.com. Guys, high school athlete of the week. We're going to get into some more Spurs talk. Real quick before we get into high school athlete of the week, I've got to give a shout out. We are global, Mr. Global. We are worldwide, Derek. I bet you didn't know that right now. I got a shout out from Gustavo in Chile. He
Way to
was
go,
saying
Gustavo.
he loves the show. I'm giving him a shout out, Gustavo in Chile. Thank you for listening to Sweep the League Radio. Appreciate it. We also had a listener over from the Philippines that reached out to me and said, enjoy the show.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
We're worldwide. It's not because of me. It's because of you guys in the studio. Y'all make this wheel turn. Thank y'all for everything. High school athlete of the week. Before we get into more Project Spurs, Cheeseman, also Longhorn Cowboy Talk. Brandon with the high school athlete of the week. Brandon, bring it, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What it do, y'all? This week, Sweep the League High School Athlete of the Week, Jake Friesenheim from Southwest High School. He had 30 carries for 293 yards and 3 touchdowns. I tell you, I was at this game, and every time he touched it, that ball was moving. So congratulations, Jake Friesenheim, 293 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Southwest has moved on to the area round of the Texas high school football playoffs.
Nice, nice. I did see you share that with me on Twitter, and wowzers, man. 293 yards, 3 touchdowns, Jake Friesenheim. Brandon, that is a terrific performance. But before we let you go, as always, you always like to give me crap all the time when you're on the show here. What do you have to say about the Falcons and the Cowboys game? I'm ready to take it. I've got thick skin. What do you got, man?
I actually had in my what's those little single day drafts, I had Matt Ryan. I thought, the Cowboys would win, but I thought it would be a shootout, and someone left their gun at home. So
I guess Maddie brought a water gun to the gunfight.
Exactly.
Man, well, I apologize on behalf of all of the Falcons organization, and because I know I'm part of Matt Ryan. I am terribly sorry, Brandon, for ruining your daily fantasy day, man. I'm terribly sorry.
Well, it's all good, man.
Thank you, Brandon. Hey, definitely want to check out Brandon along the wire. Appreciate you every single week coming on. Looking forward to having you next week, man. High school playoffs, it's blowing up right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Plenty of upsets across the state, especially here in San Antonio. So there's some grinding that I'm going to be doing, and I'll always be bringing y'all the athlete of the week. So I'm down.
Sweet. Appreciate it, Brandon. We'll talk to you next week. That is Brandon over at Along the Wire. Take a listen to his podcast. Great, great podcast. We also have the Pyramid coming up. Derek was like, are we playing the Pyramid? Yes, we're playing the Pyramid. It's Derek and I going on a 2-game winning streak here. We're going to win. I guarantee we're going to win. How do I know? I don't. I just have that much confidence. It's going to be because Galler decided, I don't want to play this week. I'm terrible. he's going to throw Mark under the bus, kind of the way he threw me under the bus by calling it Pee Wee soccer for Rio Grande Valley. I apologize
What did you call
for
it?
that. I told you that in confidence. There's stuff you tell, hey, bros, right? We're supposed to keep stuff between us.
Bros before, but we won't.
Now, but now I can't go down to the Rio Grande Valley and get, mugged down there, because now they're going to say, you called us Pee Wee soccer. I didn't mean that. I said that in confidence. I don't really mean that at all. But he's throwing Mark.
They did.
He's throwing Mark into the fire to play with Rocky. We're playing the pyramid here in just a little bit, actually fourth segment. We've got Cowboy talk. We've got Longhorn talk coming up, but we're going to finish here with the Cheesemas section of the Spurs. We're talking Devin Vassell. We said Scottie Pippen. Other stuff that Rocky brought up that I want to get with Rocky on real quick was the identity. What are we doing? I mean, do we feel like, are we wanting the Spurs to, I hate using the word tank, but can we use tank? Can we use struggle? What are we wanting? I mean, we want to get that top 4 pick. Do we want to make the playoffs? How are fans feeling? You feel, in your opinion, how are they feeling right now?
Well, there's a mixed debate between, fans wanting to tank and then fans wanting to win. I mean, obviously you want to win, but I think the bottom line, the Spurs, what they need to do this season is be competitive. Don't try to go with that word tank, because if you're going to use that word tank, you're going to promote a losing culture in the locker room. They're trying out there. They lost, I believe, by 6 today or 7. I personally don't know, but they're there in those games, but they just can't finish them. And I just don't think we should be saying tank, and blow the whole team up. But we just got to stay competitive. Maybe evaluate who we are on the roster. I don't think one person out there could, change the team and make us push towards the playoffs. But I personally want them, even though I just said don't say tank, I want them to tank.
So I'm going to go to Derek, because Derek, this is something that just hit my head right here. If you make a move, what do you consider it? Because if you make a move, trade your best player or one of your best players, people can say it's tanking. But if you're getting a good player in return to help your team, is it tanking? That's a tough.
For the Spurs, I have to say, I'm not going to say I'm going to take it back to tanking, because they play hard and they're not the type of team that's going to roll over for you. They just are shorthanded right now with the roster they currently have, but they're doing the best they can to win these games. But I think that do you want to be a 7th or 8th seed, or do you want to go after one of these top guys that'll be coming in, one of these young guys that'll be coming in next year? That's something they're going to have to decide. Hey, they have to figure it out. Greg Popovich is getting near the end of his career. How does he want to go out? I don't think Pop wants to start rebuilding at this point at the end of his career. So I still think they're going to make a move before the trade deadline. I think they'll try to find someone. It's hard to find a player out there that's 6'8", 6'9", that can go off the dribble and do all the things they need to do, share the ball and all that. But I think they have plans, something behind the scenes. And I think we know the Spurs. I think they'll pull off something before the trade deadline.
Yeah, and it also begs the question, does the front office look at the team, do we go down like how the Warriors did? They were without Clay. Steph was in and out of the lineup, and they had their young guns play. They got, 2 solid players. And now look at them. They're 11-1, first in conference, and they don't even have Clay or Wiseman right now.
Gary Payton Jr. I saw that comment you made.
Oh, I love the guy.
Gary Payton Jr., he's balling right now. And yeah, I think you guys are right. I just feel the whole thing is, you make a move. Is it to struggle, or is it to make the playoffs? It's still pretty early. Can we honestly say it's still pretty early in the season? We're still trying to find our identity. I think we don't know where we're going yet. Well, I think come All-Star break, come trade deadline, we'll have an idea.
Karl Anthony Towns, we're calling you.
Uh-oh. Somebody needs to tweet this out. We want Cat, apparently, is what Derek is saying. Derek Gervin, Rocky giving us the cheese man. He's also going to give us the info on who the better team in Texas is right now. Shemai on the Beats giving us the jazz music. The guys behind the glass, I'm looking at them and they are asleep. I'm going to go wake them up on this commercial break. Rudy Campos Jr., Sweep the League Radio, 9:30 a.m. The Answer. We'll be back.
United Collision Care Center, official sponsor of Sweep the League, specializes in body paint, frame, and mechanical services from light cosmetic repairs to heavy collision hits, as well as fleet maintenance. All technicians are platinum certified by ICAR, the top training organization in the collision industry. Quality and customer service are what their business ethics are based on. Trust is the hardest thing to build and the easiest thing to lose. So let's build a mutual relationship that starts with trust and a peace of mind. Contact Lewis and his staff today, 210-595-6413, or visit them at 6575 Pratt Road.
You've been listening to Sweep the League Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Sweep the League. Shemaya is at Shemaya on the BT. Or what about Chris Geller at Official Mr. 300? Sweep the League Radio, sponsored by Project Spurs, the United Collision Care Center. If you want to go visit them, you can also visit us at www.sweeptheleague.com. Hey, sports fans, trading cards is all the hype and it's absolute fire now. Where do you get the best sports cards in town? What's on second? Over on 4177 Nacro Parent Boulevard. Give them a call, 210-590-8444. They have everything you need. Sports cards, basketball, baseball, football, Pokemon cards, sports memorabilia, whatever you want, they've got over at What's on Second. And pick up the phone. Call us on the Project Spurs hotline, 210-308-8867. You've been listening to Sweep the League on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Don't turn that dial. Hey, guys, it's Sweep the League. You've been listening to Sweep the League. Be sure to follow us on all of our Twitters, at Shemaya on the BT, at Sweep the League is myself. Why not go follow Chris Galler at Official Mr. 300, or head over to the website, www.sweeptheleague.com. Again, Sweep the League Radio. That's different. I like that. I like that a lot. Shemaya dropping all the beats. Shemaya on the beats. Derek Gervin, Rocky in studio, guys behind the glass. I woke them up. They're awake now. Rudy Campos Jr. And we've got Cowboy Talk coming up next because I'm trying to delay Longhorn Talk till right before we do Pyramid in the fourth segment so I can kind of mess with Rocky's mind here, get him all sad so that way he cannot win the Pyramid. Unfortunately, we have Cowboy Talk, and unfortunately, I'm looking at the screen, and I see a caller on the screen. I'm hoping it's not this guy, but we'll get to him in a second here. Sweep the League Radio, 9:30 a.m. The Answer. United Collision Care Center, the best collision care center in all the land. Call them, 210-595-6413. They will get you back on the road in no time. Project Spurs, hey, Michael DeLeon and the staff. We've got staff in here with us at Sweep the League all the time. Go follow them across all social media at Project Spurs, proud sponsors of Sweep the League. They have a Spurs cast with Paul Garcia, the first Spurs podcast around. Great listen. Go listen to it. What's on second? Like I said, I'll tell you what's on second. The absolute best sports card shop in town. 210-590-8444. Go visit them, 4177 Nacro Parent Boulevard. Get your Pokemon cards, get your basketball cards. I have a rookie card out there. It just was never released. If you can find one, I will sign it for you. Derek's got his out there.
Very limited edition, right?
Very limited. Like, I think my mom only has the only one ever made. So if you can beg her for it, I think it's like maybe a dime. Shout out to a dime maybe for that, something like that. Anyway, Cowboy Talk coming up. I have a feeling this next caller is somebody who's a Cowboy fan because that seems to be the only people calling in right now giving me hell are Cowboy fans. Nick, do I dare go to you? Are you a Cowboy fan?
The one and only. You know which Nick this is.
I got an idea. I figured I would get this phone call against the Falcons. I was waiting for it. I was kind of hoping time would go fast, but it didn't go fast enough. Nick, you're definitely going to give me some crap on the Cowboy Falcons game, sir. Go ahead.
Well, Dan Quinn finds a way to absolutely destroy your hopes and dreams again. How many years in a row is this? Besides that, honestly, the Falcons coming off of a pretty decent one last week. The Cowboys coming off of probably one of the worst losses they've had in recent memory, especially with this team. And it was just, you ran into a buzzsaw. Was it 35-3 at half? It was so bad at half that I was like, well, at least I got to watch Red Zone the rest of the day and don't have to worry about the Cowboys game. So
yeah, I know, man. I know. And You did say Dan Quinn broke my heart again. He did break my heart as the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and he broke my heart today as the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know what else to say other than I think Derek's going to jump on me too here right now.
Dan Reeves is not walking in that door.
Neither is Jamal Anderson.
That's right. So
Neither,
you got to suck it up.
Matt Ryan, yeah, I really think it's it might be time to start looking past Matt Ryan. I mean, how old is he? I know he's not young, so
no, he's not young.
That defense honestly hasn't been a bad defense all year either. It's been okay, so you got something there. But it's just, today was a buzzsaw. I would. It's like the Cowboys game last week. You almost have to just throw this type of game away because I don't think you saw the real Falcons out there. I think what you saw was an angry Cowboys team with a Falcons team that was probably happy to win last week. So that's kind of what we saw.
Is there any way we can cue up the My Heart Will Go On song? Because Nick's making me cry here, giving me hope that I didn't see the real Falcons team today.
But Rudy, we said the same thing before we went back on the air, that they're on paper, they're a lot better team. I think it's time for Matty Ryan to, think sometimes you just grow stale in the same place. And I don't think they're that far off. I think it's time for a new quarterback, and maybe a couple position players might change, but they have on paper, they have a pretty good team. I don't think they're that bad.
Before I let Nick go, Nick can attest to this because I've talked to Nick before. I was so desperate for a new quarterback. I wanted Cooper Rush.
You did.
He can attest to that. He can tell you I'm being truthful.
I just have to say this, Rudy. This is the nature of the league as it is today. We had all those upsets last week. We had the Bucs losing today to the Washington team that had no business winning that game. And then you had the Eagles beat the Broncos, and the Cowboys destroyed the Eagles, and the Broncos destroyed the Cowboys. So it's any given Sunday, pretty much every week now, which is exciting, but it sucks if you're, actually in an area where you can gamble on games. So
the evolution's gambling.
Yeah, seriously, it's horrible. It's horrible. So, but hey, man, I love the show. Love the show, man.
Appreciate it, Nick. Thanks for calling in, man. That is Nick. He's probably one of the biggest Cowboy fans I know. And I had a feeling we would be hearing from him today. Also in the chat, I want to get here. Rocky Garza says, great job, Rocky Garza Jr. I'm saying shout out to you. Of course, he does a fantastic job all the time. Josh Miller in here says he loves the show, but he says, what happened with the Lions, though? Haha, just trolling. We know what happened to the Lions.
You know what they were doing, right? They was listening to that song that you want me to play earlier.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember that. The Lions are the Lions, man. I mean, well, I asked the question earlier. Well, how many Super Bowls have they been to? I still got crickets on that. And Derek's looking at me like, you better move on. We're gonna move on.
Our day is coming.
Hey, those crickets are asleep too, man.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
Rudy, I have a question for you quick before we go. If you're the Falcons, do you go in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes? How bad do you want a quarterback, or you stay out of that?
Yes, I think you do. At this point, Matt Ryan, because you had a chance to draft a QB last year. I get Kyle Pitts. I do get the draft pick. Yes, you go for the best player available, and he was the best player available. Yes, but at the same time, you can trade down, get a couple of picks, and get a QB of the future. I would have rather gotten a QB in this draft, but Matt Corral's out there. I don't mind getting a Matt Corral from Mississippi State, or is Ole Miss? Ole Miss. So I'd love to get a Matt Corral to go along with the Sincere McCormick. I like that. I like that little future being built right there for the Falcons.
Or Sincere and Deshaun Watson.
Sincere and Deshaun. I would take Sincere Deshaun Watson too.
But what would you trade?
Oh man,
giving up the house.
At this point, yeah. I mean, you don't, other than building through the draft. I mean, if you want an instant impact player, just like the Spurs, if you want an impact player, you've got to trade the house, man.
You're giving up 3 players and
couple of draft
a few
picks.
2 or 3 draft picks, first round picks though.
Yeah. So exciting victory today, Cowboys. 43-3. I'm not going to repeat that again. We're just going to say a lot to a little. Falcons go down. Terrible day for the Falcons. Cowboys show up. CeeDee Lamb had a big day. Zeke was in the end zone, 2 times. Dak had a good day. Trayvon Diggs continues his interception roller coaster there. Just taking everything away from everybody. That train is on the tracks. Now look like it's going to come off. Against Denver, terrible performance. This is their rebound game. Sucks it had to be against the Falcons. I'm terrible. Sorry about that. I mean, it happens, but is this the game that gets the Cowboys back on track? You were picking them sort of Super Bowl wise. They have a chance to be in the Super Bowl. Does this game still give you that Super Bowl feel?
Yes, because I knew they would rebound. I didn't know it would be this convincing, but I told you I believe in this team. I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan, but I go by what I see. They're very consistent. They're going to be tough come down the stretch because they have 2 healthy running backs right now, which is huge. And I just like their overall team. Mike McCarthy is my biggest question of his decision making.
I was laughed at when I said that. I said McCarthy's not a good coach. Wow. And I said that after the Denver loss. So apparently after you say McCarthy is a terrible coach after a loss, everybody jumps on you. Oh, you're just saying that because of a loss. No, I've said that when he was at Green Bay. He's not a coach. He's a babysitter.
He makes some questionable decisions. He's won a championships. I have to give him respect for that, but he does some questionable things with the game on the line, and that would be my biggest question for their team because I love their overall team. I love them offensively, all 3 phases. They have it.
And Barry Switzer won a title. I mean, winning the title doesn't necessarily mean anything, in my opinion.
Well, I wish you'd go to Detroit and say that.
Oh, jeez. See, even in the worst of times, I still get Rocky. I mean, Cowboy talk right here for that. I mean, how you feel? I got the McCarthy thing going. Is this a win that can just give them that much more momentum going into the playoffs? Because we're expecting them to be one of the top teams in the NFC.
100%, man. Looking at the schedule right now, the Chiefs next week, it's a winnable game. Raiders, winnable game. Saints, winnable game. And then the last 3 against is Washington, Giants, Washington. That's 3 dubs right there. I think the only toss-up you really have is next week because it's Patrick Mahomes and maybe the Saints, but the Saints don't really have a good quarterback right now. But, they're going for that 1 seed, man, especially with Tampa Bay getting upset. That really helps the Cowboys, and this could push them on the way.
13-4.
Yes, sir.
So even with Tampa Bay losing, if there's a tie, if I'm not mistaken, the tiebreak is still victory between, or does it go to something? I have to look that up. I got guys in the back.
Would it come down to the earlier first game of the season?
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah. Is it against each other, or is it based off of I got to go back to that. But yeah, the Cowboys are definitely on a roll. I know that they had a hiccup last week. It happens. I mean, we almost saw a hiccup yesterday with the UTSA Roadrunners. It happens. You have those games in football and sports in general. It happens. I mean, good thing the Cowboys won, because if the Falcons would have won, this show would have been way different. Way different. I would have been clowning on so
We would have
many
locked you out the door.
Probably would have locked me out the door. This show would have been way different. Speaking of shows, Dan Ciliana is coming up right after Sweep the League, San Antonio Wrestling Show. Derek Gervin, Around the Beats. Rocky is ready for his Longhorns moment. All you UT fans, either turn up the dial or turn it off. It's going to be bad. Guys behind the glass, Rudy Campos Jr., Sweep the League Radio. We'll be back.
Don't let the stress of getting into an accident keep you down. Contact United Collision Care Center, where Lewis and his certified technicians will get you back on the road in no time. They're a 5-star company with over 270 reviews on CarWise.com. Quality and customer service are what separate them from the rest, making them the best. Specializing in body, paint, frame, and mechanical services, from light cosmetic repairs to heavy collision hits, United Collision Care Center does it all. Contact them today at 210-595-6413 or visit their shop at 6575 Pratt Road. Again, that's United Collision Care Center, the best in the business and official sponsor of Sweep the League.
You've been listening to Sweep the League Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Sweep the League. Shemaya is at Shemaya on the BT. Or what about Chris Geller at official Mr. 300? Sweep the League Radio, sponsored by Project Spurs, the United Collision Care Center. If you want to go visit them, you can also visit us at www.sweeptheleague.com. Two Shots Podcast is a fun-filled extravaganza bringing you into the world of sports and entertainment. Joe Garcia and the staff keep you updated on Spurs, combat sports, Dallas Cowboys, and my favorite, everything in Nerdville like Marvel and DC. Head to the line for Two Shots, as in Two Shots Podcast, available across all streaming platforms. No sport is bigger than football here in the Lone Star State. High school football is king on Friday nights, so listening to Along the Wire with B. Damone is a must. Brandon brings you all the latest news and notes, as well as rankings for our local high school football teams here in San Antonio. Cue up the band, get comfortable in your bleacher seat, and tune in for the best high school coverage around with Along the Wire.
You know what the difference is between you and me? I make this look good.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. President Biden choosing a former New Orleans mayor, Mitch Landrieu, to supervise his $1 trillion infrastructure plan. White House says Landrieu will be tasked with coordinating across federal agencies to work on roads, ports, bridges, and airports. A woman has been arrested after punching a Southwest Airlines employee during boarding for a flight from Dallas to New York. The 32-year-old woman charged with aggravated assault, employee taken to a hospital with minor injuries. A bomb blast early Sunday morning at a hospital in Liverpool. British authorities say at least 3 people have been arrested, and there could be more. 1 person killed in that blast, numerous other people wounded. This is SRN News.
9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Huge shout out to United Collision Care Center, Project Spurs, and What's on Second, proud sponsors of Sweep the League Radio here at 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Derek Gerbich around the beat, Rocky in studio, guys behind the glass, Rudy Campos Jr. Like I said, worldwide. I was actually requested because we wanted to give a shout out to a couple of guys. Gustavo in Chile actually requested if I could say it in Spanish. You're going to get the language of love here, Spanish, and forgive me because I live in San Antonio and my español is not great. But Gustavo, gracias por apoyar a Sweep the League Radio desde Chile. Estamos bendecidos y honrados de contar con su apoyo. So that basically means thank you for listening to Sweep the League Radio. Thank you for the support and all that good stuff. Again, we're worldwide because of you, Derek. You played overseas.
That was because of you, Rudy, because that was actually pretty good.
I practiced that in the last 20 seconds. I practiced it. I actually hit it.
You have nerves of steel.
I do, man, because before we get into Longhorn talk and depress everybody, you were telling me something about UTSA. And I can say easily I was drunk when I said I do it, but I wasn't drunk because I don't drink no more. You posted on Facebook, so it's on Facebook. Everybody can see it. If UTSA goes undefeated, we're not getting a tattoo. That's for sure.
No.
We're doing something else. You're making me sing. What now?
Well, you're going to have to sing. If UTSA continues to go undefeated and they finish undefeated, I figured the perfect song would be Another One Bites the Dust.
So
featuring Rudy Campos Jr. And I'll even give it I'll sing a little bit of We Are the Champions.
Oh my God. Okay. So I did commit to that. We have Lorenzo here. He's asking where Galler's mask is. I'm assuming that Lorenzo says Galler has an ugly face. So we're going to ask where Galler's mask is. Or is Lorenzo asking for mask on the mask?
I think he's asking about the facial hair. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, that's right. He got a haircut. Cowboys win. Chris gets a haircut and he shaves. He had been looking pretty bad for the past couple of years.
I don't know. Sean Corbett always thinks a homeless Galler bowls better. So
well, okay. If
the
you say
homeless
that,
looking Galler bowls.
appreciate
better.
Lorenzo says he loves the show. Thank you for listening, Lorenzo. He says nah. So apparently Galler has a pretty face. So we're gonna call him Pretty Face Galler from here on out. But the thing is that you said that I was gonna sing. What was it? Another One Bites the Dust.
Another One Bites the Dust, Mr. Freddie Mercury.
And the kick of it was you are asking me to dress up as Freddie Mercury the day that I sing it. So Roadrunners go undefeated. I have to come in dressed as Freddie Mercury singing Another One Bites the Dust. I can pull off the jeans. I can get the fake mustache. I cannot pull off a tank top wife beater.
Oh, you gotta have the wife beater. How could you be Freddie Mercury, man? Come on.
I still have a gut, and
that's okay.
I still got the man boobs. They're not completely gone.
You already taken. You got the wives at home, so you're secure, man. Go, you come in
Exactly.
here.
I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just trying to not anybody get off my.
We
my
need the
lifey.
wife beater, man. You gotta have the whole outfit.
He's gonna be cold, man.
Exactly. Lorenzo's saying he's not ugly. Okay, Chris, you're off the hook. You're not ugly.
Wear a leather. Wear a leather.
No. Okay. No. We stop at
Put on a leather vest or
no.
something.
I can barely squeeze into my pants right now. You want me to squeeze in the leather? That ain't happening. I'll do the Northern Bites of Dust. I'll come dressed as Freddie Mercury. We're gonna call it Rudy Mercury that night because that'll be the biggest Freddie Mercury there. Because I still, like I said, I still got some weight on me, but it's not gonna be pretty. So hopefully UTSA does go undefeated. What do you want, Chris?
Well, he's asking because I wear the mask on Tuesday.
I know you do, and you also lose to me on Tuesday nights in bowling. So we're not going to get back into that ever again. I don't want to bring that up to
3
you.
weeks ago, and the guy still
2 weeks ago, I got to relive that memory. It happens all the time. We're
I'll let you
wasting time. We got Pyramid coming up the next segment. Guaranteed Derek and I are going to win. I have yet to see the answers. Chris will not let me see his answers. But we are going to win. We are going to win that game. I want a winning streak. I want to show everything. And apparently Gina Campos is in here. Whoa, leather pants. See, Derek, see what you started with the leather pants thing. It's not happening. I cannot squeeze into leather pants.
If the wife says it, then it's gotta happen.
Oh God. I'm working late tonight. I'm not going home late. I'm not going home early. I'm working late tonight. Longhorn football. Terrible performance, Rocky. I mean, Kansas, you lose to Kansas. That the equivalent of losing to Kansas is what? Maybe a CYO team beating a college Division I basketball team. I mean, that's probably what it is. Maybe I'm not giving Kansas enough credit. I don't know. All right, Rocky, let me know what Longhorns, because apparently from what I've understood a little bit, player chemistry with the coach is something that's being questioned up in UT.
Yeah, basically, man. I mean, you had Joshua Moore arguing with Steve Sarkisian. He's in the transfer portal. You had Sark yesterday ask him, if the players are receiving his message, and he goes, "Ask the players." I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, if you want some turnaround, you got to get on it. And I just feel like it's a culture thing. And I saw a comment from a fan, and they were saying this is a coach-led team, not a player-led team. Because in those UT days, those great days, man, with the 05, 010, you had those dogs that would get on the players, rile them up. But you don't see anyone, man. At halftime when I was watching the Kansas UT, they were down 35-14, and the Kansas players were dancing on the field, throwing horns down. And if I'm a player, I go after that, try to stop them, have some pride for yourself. But it's just, they're all weak, man, and I don't know what's happening.
It's a bad situation in UT right now. What's kind of weird is, we had Archie Manning there for a visit. Was it last week, I believe, or a couple of weeks back?
Yeah.
He was there for his official visit. They've got to do better at UT. I'm not a huge UT fan. I'm a Tar Heel. I grew up loving the North Carolina Tar Heels. That was the only school I applied to after high school. I knew I wasn't getting in, but when I got that rejection letter, it felt good to know that I got rejected by the only school that I love, and that's University of North Carolina. Maybe, Derek, maybe you have some pull. Maybe you can get me in North Carolina now, just maybe honorary degree or something. Even if they give me like an honorary broom from the janitor's closet, I don't care. Give me whatever you can, man. But
I'm a Michigan guy, but we'll try to make that happen.
You can make it happen. You got enough pull, man. I know you do. As far as Longhorns go, something's got to be done, because this Longhorns team, it's always been a first half team.
Yeah.
There's two halves to every single game, and all year it's a first half team. What's that problem coming out of the locker room? You cannot, I can't say you can't say we've seen this before. Back in the day, the Spurs were a terrible fourth quarter team. So I'm kind of used to seeing teams not finish at the end. But as far as the Longhorns go, game after game, they come out of the locker room and it's terrible, man.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I don't get how you can dominate the first half, not make adjustments coming in. You're just kind of like, well, let's do the same thing. Same thing doesn't work in the second half. Is that what we're seeing in Texas?
Yeah, definitely. You see that OU game, we're up, we get off to a fast start. We're going. and Caleb Williams comes in and just murders Texas, man. And there's no adjustments made by Sark or the coaching staff. I mean, how we go down 35-14 in Kansas, and we make a comeback. Their only win was against South Dakota, and they had lost 56 straight conference road games. Then they hadn't beaten UT in several years, and we were a 31-point favorite. And I just feel like the adjustments need to be made. The players need to be getting on their own teammates, just saying, "Come on, dude, like let's just get it going." Because I feel like there's a sense of entitlement. The UT players don't have any respect for their opponents. They just feel like they're always going to beat their opponents, and that's just the problem.
That's a very, very big problem. Lorenzo's in here as well. It says, "Go Blue." And Derek, again, you've caused ruckus in the Campos household. Now my wife's forcing me to wear leather pants for the Freddie Mercury Challenge if UTSA goes undefeated. I was eating healthy. Now I can't eat anything because I got to fit into these pants somehow.
But you got to look on the other. I'm actually nervous about that game next week. That's my trap game. They were calling the Southern Miss. The trap game is that last game, UAB.
Yeah, I can see it now. With UTSA and not USTA, it's UTSA and the Longhorns. I see a lot of stuff saying UTSA is the best team in Texas. I see all that as well. What's it going to take to get the Longhorns to turn around? And I'm asking this as a serious question. I know we'd love to do a lot of joking here, but as a serious question and just a little throw out there, you can spell out as in out of the playoffs without or with OU, basically, right? That's how you spell it, OUT. Yeah, okay. So OU is out after losing this past weekend. UTSA has remained one of the three remaining undefeated teams, but as far as the Longhorns go, is it possible that we see the end of Sark at the end of this year? I mean, a year in, and you figure you give a guy 3 seasons because you want to get his recruiting class in. You want to give him the chance to recruit, bring in his own players. But this is a hot mess. There may not be players left in the organization for the Longhorns. They may be all in the portal. Players coming in may not be your 5-star, 4-star players anymore. They may have to settle. You don't see that on the ranch over at University of Texas at all. So what is the change that's got to be made?
I mean, maybe you see a coaching change, but you got to look at it this way. Let's say tomorrow they announce we fired Sark, the whole staff. You bring in a new coach, he brings his own staff. He gets rid of player A, player B, but you're still going to have a turnover change. Those new players are going to have to adjust it, and fans are like, "Oh, it's a new player, like new coach, like we're expected results right away." Look at last night with Chris Beard. He brought in all these transfers, great transfers. They lost to Gonzaga, but I mean, he's still going to have a stellar season. But going from basketball talent to football talent, Beard only has to coach so many players, but you go to football, you got to deal with those former players. This UT basketball team, Beard brought in all his own guys, and he turned it around right away. You don't necessarily see that in football because there's so much talent in the transfer portal where people don't transfer. So Sark's dealing with all these people that are left from the Herman's-led squad, but I don't think they should fire the coach yet. I don't even know who they would replace him with. You have a big buyout from Sark. Fans are going to want Saban, but you don't think Saban's not going to go, man.
The thing that for Sarkisian is going to be how is he in the community? Because I think that's going to have a lot to do with it as far as the boosters and everything. How is he received out in the area, in the neighborhood with the fans and all that? If he's received well, I believe they'll give him another chance. I'm with Rocky. It's too early to start over. I say you go with him again next season and see how it goes and see if they make improvement. But you've got to be liked by the boosters. And that's the only question I would have about Steve Sarkisian. I don't know the relationship he has away from the football field, but I say way too early to think about replacing the coach.
Yeah, and going off that, they said early on in reports before the season, Sark has a really good rapport with the Texas Coaches High Schools Association. They said he's a real brilliant guy. And they compared it to Herman, where they felt Herman was more ignorant and just didn't reach out to them, but they like how Sark is. But if you look at it, Sark wasn't the boosters' initial hire. They wanted Urban. But do you bring in Urban's, troubles in there? But who knows?
No, you can't. This is Sweep the League. Shemai on the beats. Derek Gervin, Rocky, guys behind the glass. Pyramid coming up here. Maybe get a little more Longhorns talk here with the conversation. We'll be back.
Urban Meyer, definitely.
all you music heads out there, from punk to metal to indie, the Chuck Van Show plays the best in real local music from San Antonio and around Texas. Real new music you're not hearing anywhere else. Sundays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on modsnapradio.com. It's the Chuck Vance Show.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm Mark the MC, and you are listening to Sweep the League Radio. Before we get back to the show, here's a message from I Am Refocused.
I'm focused, man. Focused.
IamRefocusedRadio.com are proud friends of Sweep the League Radio. With new interviews each week, we are looking for special guests. Do you have a story? Are you an athlete, music artist, business owner? Visit IamRefocusedRadio.com today and send us a message. Now, back to Sweep the League Radio.
Spurs season isn't just 82 games, but year-round. That's why you need to make sure you have the best coverage around at all times. Project Spurs provides you with the most in-depth Spurs coverage all day, every day. Articles, analysis, and live game coverage provided by some of the best journalists in the business. Need more? Listen to the Spurs Cast with Paul Garcia for even more Spurs-related news and notes. Visit ProjectSpurs.com for all the latest Spurs information, or follow them on social media. Twitter is at Project Spurs, or just search for Project Spurs on Facebook and Instagram. Project Spurs, dominating Spurs coverage and proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
Hey guys, it's Sweep the League. You've been listening to Sweep the League. Be sure to follow us on all of our Twitters, at Shemaya on the BT, at Sweep the League is myself. Why not go follow Chris Galler at official Mr. 300, or head over to the website, www.sweeptheleague.com. Again, Sweep the League Radio. Break out the glow sticks, break out everything. Hey, do we have a foam here? Because we can have a foam party with the music Shemaya's playing now. Shemaya on the beats, Sweep the League Radio, United Collision Care Center, Project Spurs, What's on Second. They power us here. Talking about Triangle of Toughness with UTSA. That is the Triangle of Toughness for us here at Sweep the League Radio. Derek Gervin, Rocky, guys behind the glass, Stats and Galler, Rudy Campos Jr. It's the fourth segment. You know what? We got more words this time, and I'm looking at my list, and I'm like, how do I try to do this? Derek, I hope we do win, because I think Chris is screwing us again this week, but I guess not here. It's going to be you and I against Rocky and Mark. Well, Stats, we call it Stats now. Stats and Rocky, Derek and I. This is the pyramid. We've got 7 words to play with here. And we're going to do 45 seconds, Shemaya, this time. We did 30. We do 45. All right. So Shemaya will let us know when the time's up. So how do we play the pyramid? Basically, you've got words in front of you. You try to describe that word without saying the word to your partner. Whichever team gets the most at the end of the game wins the game. So the Sweep the League tag team champions, Derek Gervin and Rudy Campos Jr., we are the champs. Do you want us to go first, Derek?
No.
No? The Rocky's saying no.
I like to build up my confidence.
Okay. So, Shemaya, pick a number between 1 and 2. 2. He's going with 2. So that means you guys go first. Rocky and Mark go first. You know how I play it here. All right. So we're gonna do first here. Ready to start the pyramid? Let's start the pyramid, Shemaya. Okay. So basically, we're going to say, Rocky, you're going to go first. You're going to describe these words to Mark. And after that, I'm going to give you a little bit of rundown of why those words were picked. Real quick thing here. So here we go. Rocky's going to give the words to Mark. Mark, you got to figure out.
Are you going to give him the categories?
Rocky, what's the category at the top of your page there?
Cowboys.
Cowboys. So this is Cowboys talk. Mark, Rocky's going to describe anything and everything Cowboys to you. Are you ready, Stats?
So I just gotta say these particular words, correct?
You got to figure out the words. That's all you got to
Gotcha.
do. You got to figure out the word that he's trying to describe here. So, Stats, are you ready?
I sure am.
45 seconds on the clock. Rocky, go.
Diggs has a lot of these.
Catches, touchdowns,
No.
receptions.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I'm sorry, interceptions.
Yep.
Diggs. I'm thinking of Stephon.
The Cowboys talking game was a blank.
A blowout.
Yep. One of the Cowboys' best receivers.
CeeDee Lamb.
Yep. Cowboys are blank's team.
Or a what team?
Cowboys are blank's team.
Jerry Jones.
No. They're known for this.
America's team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who do the Cowboys play today?
The Atlanta Falcons.
Yep. Opposite of defense.
Offense.
Diggs is what?
A cornerback.
Yep.
They got all 7
That's
right.
awesome, man.
Hey, thank
all
you, man.
7 right on the pyramid. They're oh my God, they got it under 45 seconds. That is for sure here. All right, Derek. I don't think we're gonna top that the first time around. So, all right, Shemai, we need to cue up the pyramid song here. This is Pyramid Round 1. Derek and Rudy here, 45 seconds on the clock. Do you want to go first or you want me here?
You go first.
I go first. All right. So speaking of the Cowboys, that is obviously the Cowboys blowing out the Falcons, 43-3. Those were the words from the Cowboy game today. The guys are still screwing me over this here. Our category, Derek, is SAFC, and I am looking at this, and I seriously doubt we're going 7 for 7 here. Well, I think we're going to have to give up the championship belt here. SAFC, we got 45 on the clock, and let's go. Where they play. This is where they play. It's over by Morgan's.
Wolf Stadium.
No, it's over by.
Morgan's Wonderland.
It's over by there, but it's near
across
there.
the street from Morgan's
Across the
Wonderland.
street, it's a car. It's a car. It's a car maker. A car maker.
Chevy. I can't think of
all right,
it.
Pass. We'll pass. Okay, they kick this on the field.
A ball.
What kind?
Soccer ball.
Okay, soccer ball. Oh my God, the guy on the baseball mound does this. He
pitches.
There you go. And this is a horrible one here. It's what they're known for on Twitter, and you're not even on Twitter, so I don't know how we can get this pass.
Trolling.
No. Time is up. The one that we skipped earlier was Toyota Field. And
wait a minute, man. He gave us a really, really difficult.
Now you know why.
Told me to make them difficult.
I said difficult, not impossible.
Yeah, Toyota Field.
Field. They're known on Twitter for #Defend210. He also has Jordan Farr, yellow card, and offsides were the other ones.
Hold on.
Hey, Gordon, I apologize, my man.
And Rudy,
yeah.
What are you baseballing up in here? The name of the field is called a pitch. They call it a pitch. The name of the field.
I covered soccer for the first time last night, and you expect me to know all this stuff here?
Yes. You should.
Are you serious? All right, Shemai. Round 2 here. Cue up the pyramid song here. So after we give the answers and the 45 seconds is up, cue up the pyramid song again for that, so we can go over that. Obviously, SAFC basically was the topic we're going off. They got that big win last night, Rio Grande Valley FC over the Toros, 3-1 on the way to the Western Conference Finals. Mark, stats back there.
Hey.
All right, you and Rocky are up 7-2 because I am terrible, and Chris officially hates me because he gave me impossible words here.
Yeah.
So, are you ready, Stats?
All right, so I'll go ahead and give the topic then.
All right, so what's the topic?
The topic is UTSA.
UTSA, UTSA. Rocky is not like that.
Yeah, you're gonna
know this. I should know.
You
This.
got
We
this.
know. Oh, we need an offer here, Rocky. Offer, or for some reason that door is going to stay locked next time you come in. Put 45 on the clock. Let's go.
All right, the mascot.
Rowdy.
No. What is the mascot?
Bird.
What kind of bird?
Roadrunner.
There you go. You got it. Okay, if it's not a field goal, it's a
2-point conversion.
Nope.
Kick.
Nope. What the other basic one on offense?
A PAT.
Nope.
What?
7 points.
Touchdown.
There you go.
Oh,
hell.
Okay. It's not a touchdown. It's one of the other ones you just said.
PAT. 2-point
What's it
conversion.
called? What's the other word?
Point after kick.
No. The other word for 3 points.
Oh, field goal.
Yes, you got it. The sound that the Roadrunner makes.
Am I supposed to do the sound? Like
Just
me.
There, you got it. Okay, who hands it off to the running back?
Quarterback.
Bingo. What is the first 3 digits of? Oh, okay.
2-0.
Yep, you got it.
All right, so officially
total robbery here today.
This is total robbery. Okay, so
I'm sorry,
the way that we did this is I made up the questions for Rocky and Stats. Chris made up our questions.
Rocky gets the UTSA questions, not me.
I apologize.
Last week,
man.
didn't we give
Smart
didn't we give
thinking.
Derek
I should be
UTSA questions last week?
We did give Derek UTSA.
I should be
questions.
ashamed, man. I'm a UTSA alum too. I thought I was going to do the sound. That's what I make a bird
Oh,
sound.
God.
Good job.
I wish
Good-
you did, man.
good
I wish
job.
you did
So
give a sound.
officially, we are out of the running because we can't come back. We only get 7
Well,
questions.
we
here.
will be out of the running
But
anyway.
because you and I and Shemaya, this is Sweep the League Radio, and I'm just going to say that these points are worth 5 points each now, so we can win this game. Look at these guys; they don't like that. No, we're good. We're gonna give up the title this week for sure. I know we are. So, what do we got, Derek? What's the category? Hit that music.
Fiesta.
Fiesta. Oh, all right. So the UTSA was a win from yesterday. Fiesta. Let's see what we got with Fiesta. That's what the topic here. So Fiesta, 45 seconds on the clock. God help me, go.
Trophies.
Championships.
Another name for trophies.
And
What do you hand out in the events?
medals.
Things that you wear on your feet other than socks.
Crocs. Chanclas. Shoes. Sneakers. Yeah.
Okay. Stuff that you throw if you're having a parade or a party. Stuff that you sprinkle in the air.
Beads. Confetti.
Yeah, okay. Biggest parade in San Antonio.
Flambeau.
Next one. Next
Oh,
closest.
God. Battle flowers.
Okay. We're in a great state here.
Texas. Lone Star State.
What's the parade?
Riverwalk.
No. Oh, you got it. Texas Cavaliers.
How in the hell are you going to give me the Texas Cavaliers parade?
Well,
Not
they're
you.
big.
I'm talking about him back there.
They're a big thing. And
Oh,
wait a
my-
second. Did Derek show us your shoes? Was
Show-
that's what I put on there, and he said what you put on.
Show
your-
us your shoes.
Yeah.
Well, how would I
I
describe that?
know, that's
Oh,
why.
I don't
Sure.
know, man.
So
All I know is I said Crocs and
That
chanclas, and I'm thinking
It'd be like
huh?
what you say at the parade to the ladies on the floats.
That's what they say.
Yeah,
I
I
say
can't-
that to the ladies.
I can't repeat what I say to the ladies on the parade because wife watches.
now
kids,
here's
so-
the thing. How often do I go to the Fiesta parade? Be honest. So that kind of stumped me.
I don't know, man. But hey, this is Sweep the League. That was the Pyramid. Rocky and Stats is the champ going into next week. Derek Irvin, Shmire on the beat, Rudy Campos Jr., Rocky in studio, Chris Galler, Stats in the back over there. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. We'll be back next week, Sunday 7 to 9 here at 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Sweep the League Radio. We will see you guys next week.
Everybody have a great week. Stay safe out there.